Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about taking big, complex topics and breaking them down into clear, engaging presentations.
So let's just start with a wild thought. What if all those ancient myths weren't myths at all? What if they were just fragmented memories of contact with extraterrestrials? Well, that's the heart of the ancient astronaut theory. And today, we're going to follow the evidence, from some very strange ancient bones all the way into our own DNA. Okay, let's dive in.
So, where do we even begin with a theory this big? Well, our investigation doesn't start in space. It starts in a dusty tomb, discovered back in 1927 in what we now call Iraq. Picture this. In the ancient city of Ur, British archaeologists uncovered the remains of a First Dynasty queen, but the thing that made everyone's jaw drop was her skull. It was huge and really elongated. And here's the thing, this wasn't some one-off discovery. Skulls that look strikingly similar have been found as far away as Egypt and even Peru. That suggests this could be part of a global pattern.
Now, for ancient astronaut theorists, this is way more than just an anomaly. They see this as physical proof, actual evidence of the beings from Mesopotamian texts, the Anunnaki, or maybe a direct human extraterrestrial hybrid. And the fact that she was from a first dynasty? Well, that puts her incredibly close to the time these beings were said to have arrived.
So this is the question the theory asks, right? Is Queen Puabi's skull just some random mutation, or is it one piece of a giant global puzzle? To even try to answer that, we have to look past the bones and start digging into the stories told by ancient cultures all over the planet.
And this part of the argument is all about one central idea, that these legends of gods coming from the sky aren't just myths, they're a kind of shared historical memory.
In ancient Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, their texts talk about these powerful beings who came down from the heavens. They called them the Anunnaki.
Then you have the Hebrew Bible. It speaks of the Nephilim, the sons of God, who came down to earth and had children with human women.
And it doesn't stop there. The Forbidden Book of Enoch calls them the Watchers, basically angels who came down to share divine knowledge with us.
Now go halfway around the world, and you find the Anasazi of North America. They passed down stories of the Kachina, or the Star People, who served as their spiritual guides.
Are you seeing the pattern here? Across all these different cultures, separated by huge oceans and hundreds of years, the story is shockingly similar. You've got these powerful beings coming down from the sky, they share some kind of game-changing knowledge, and they even interbreed with humans. I mean, could that really all just be a coincidence?
And this is where the theory takes a really dramatic turn. We're moving away from ancient texts and bones, and we're going straight to the code of life itself. So here, we're going to explore the idea that our own genetics, our DNA, might hold the ultimate proof of extraterrestrial contact.
I want you to really think about who said that for a second. That's not some theorist from a late-night show. That's Sir Francis Crick, the Nobel Prize winner who helped discover the double helix structure of DNA. Even he thought that the sheer complexity of DNA was just too mathematically unlikely to have happened by random chance, here on Earth alone.
This skepticism led him to support a theory called panspermia. The basic idea is that life didn't actually start on Earth. It came here from somewhere else, maybe riding on a comet or a meteorite.
But Crick took it even one step further with this really radical idea called directed panspermia. I mean, look at this. He imagined a dying alien civilization. They can't escape their planet. So what do? They encode their entire genetic essence into microorganisms and just launch it out into space. A genetic message in a bottle. And if that's true, all life on Earth, including us, we could be the descendants of that ancient message.
So this is what brings the theory from the ancient past full speed right into the modern day. Because if our origins are extraterrestrial, you have to wonder, did the contact ever really stop? Well, according to proponents of this theory, the story didn't end thousands of years ago. They believe the contact has never stopped, and they point to our modern era, which is filled with UFO sightings, abduction stories, and of course claims of massive government cover-ups. And theorists point to a timeline of modern events as proof that these encounters are still happening. You have the Betty and Barney Hill abduction case, which pretty much set the template for every abduction story since. You have actual NASA footage of objects moving in ways that defy our understanding of physics. And then there's the discovery of potential microbial life on a meteorite from Mars.
Now this slide makes a really fascinating visual argument.
It puts ancient carvings of so-called gods right next to modern astronauts, and it suggests they share a common purpose: survival in a hostile environment. The logic here is that any being, whether it's human or not, would need pretty similar protective gear to travel through space or even to exist in Earth's early atmosphere.
So this brings all the different threads together, the skulls, the myths, the DNA, for the theory's final and, honestly, its most startling conclusion.
For decades, scientists were just baffled by our own genetic code. I mean, a staggering 95% of it didn't seem to do anything. They even gave it the name junk DNA. But what if it's not junk at all?
And this is where the theory makes its boldest claim yet. What if that so-called junk DNA is actually a kind of cosmic hard drive? A message, a blueprint, maybe even a complete history of our creators, hidden right there inside our own cells. This just flips the whole search on its head. The proof of alien life isn't out there, it's already in here.
And that really is the final twist. The theory wraps up by turning the whole search for extraterrestrials inward. It proposes that humanity itself is the evidence we've been looking for. So the question isn't just, are we alone in the universe? It's, are we even from here to begin with?